All right, everybody. Welcome to episode 7 of Ken's Movie Experience. And this is the first Ken's Movie Experience that's not on my phone. I'm doing this from my computer using Streamlabs. You're going to see me test a lot of things out tonight. I'm going to try some stuff tonight on Ken's Movie Experience. But we do have a jam-packed show tonight. We are going to do a little bit of a tournament battle between 16 different disaster films, and we're going to narrow it down to see what is the best disaster film of all time. And I'm in this disaster film mood right now because I watched Greenland the other day. It was really awesome. If anybody has not seen Greenland, I highly recommend the film. I'm also going to be talking about WandaVision episode 7. We are going to be talking about I Care a Lot, which is the Netflix movie that dropped over the weekend, the latest of many Netflix movies. There's supposed to be like 80 Netflix movies come out this year. So we'll be talking about a lot of Netflix movies in 2021. And I got a couple other things I'm going to kick off the show with, but let's say hi to some people in the chat real quick. And like we start off every single show, I like to start it off with just what's everybody been watching? What have you been enjoying over the weekend? Did you get to catch any new movies that came out? Any movies that have been out for a couple weeks? What have you guys been watching? What have you guys been enjoying, playing, whatever, if you play video games? We got Sam the Man in here. Love the new name, man. We got, he says, hey, Ken, what is up, Sam? 4K Corner is in the house. What is up, man? And we actually got to test this out together last week because he joined me on here for a live Q&A. That was a great Q&A, by the way, that you guys should definitely go check out if you haven't yet. And he says, and here we go. Daniel Otero, the battle royale tournament battle extraordinaire, faced off against 4K Media the other night in 4K Corner's tournament battle, which you guys should definitely be checking out as well on 4K Corner's channel, which I actually did a run-in at the end, but I did not bring my steel chair, so therefore I lost. Daniel Otero says, what's good, Ken? What's up, man? 4K Corner says, what's up, Daniel? You're watching the Elimination Chamber, huh? I remember back when I used to watch wrestling, and I remember the first ever Elimination Chamber. It was pretty cool. That was the one with, I believe Shawn Michaels won the first ever Elimination Chamber, if I'm not mistaken. It was at Survivor Series 2002. That is right. I used to be a huge, massive wrestling fan. Wrestling was like my life back in the day, so I remember all that stuff. All right, Daniel Taylor says, awesome, can't wait. Sam that man says, you got this. Thanks, Sam. I hope I do. Hopefully the stream doesn't go down. That's what I'm hoping for. So, and no internet mishap tonight. Yeah, I hope so. How do I sound? Do I sound okay? This mic is actually going to be replaced pretty soon because I got a Yeti mic in the mail today. So I'm going to sound a little bit better in the coming days. So yeah. There we go. Daniel Ortero says Greenland is phenomenal. I agree, man. That movie was far better than I thought it was going to be. You look at the poster, you see Gerard Butler on there. And I'm not saying anything bad about Gerard Butler, but his movies have been of a certain level of quality lately, which is not great. So I'm not, I didn't expect it to be as good as it was, but it was completely gripping, heartfelt, emotional. I was on the edge of my seat. Like I hadn't felt that way watching a disaster movie since probably the 90s when I was a kid. So yeah, it was really cool. Let's see. Sam the Man said he watched Freaky this week. What did you think of Freaky, Sam? Did you enjoy it? I enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought it was one of Vince Vaughn's better comedic performances. Thought he did a great job in the film. Danny K Review says, yo, just watch Nomadland. You watch it. I have not watched it yet, but I will be watching it probably tomorrow. I'll probably wait and watch it with my wife. But I'm supposed to be reviewing that on Thursday on my Instagram page for a part of a Golden Globes Instagram review event. So that should be pretty cool. But I'm really looking forward to watching that movie, actually. Daniel Ortega says, I watched The Dark and the Wicked and Cat's Eyes. I have not seen Cat's Eye. That's the one with Drew Barrymore, right? I think I got it like in a 4-pack on a DVD. Dark and the Wicked, how did you like that? Because I bought that on Blu-ray a couple of weeks ago and I haven't checked it out yet. So if you guys are in here, if you are enjoying the stream so far, please don't forget to hit that like button. I would definitely appreciate it. We got Praddy in here. Prad the man. What is up? Hey, Ken. Hi, Sam, and everyone in the chat. Good to see you. That 4K video was brilliant. I don't know how brilliant it was. It was just me kind of throwing movies around, but it did take a lot of my time and energy. That's for damn sure. Movies and Sue is in here. What is up? Can't believe I have Movies and Sue in my chat. This is like having a celebrity in your chat, ladies and gentlemen. What is up, Movies and Sue? How are you doing tonight? Sam the man says, hey, Praddy. Let's see. Hi, Susan. Hi, Sam. I liked the movie. Movies and Sue watched Nomadland and I Care a Lot. And Movies and Sue actually, she does a movie club every Sunday night. And I think they were talking about Moonlight tonight, which is one of my top 10 favorite films of the past decade. So I love that film. Definitely go check that out. Let's see. But what did you think of Nomadland and I Care a Lot, Susan? What did you think of those two films? Because I've got some thoughts on I Care a Lot, and I'm going to share those a little bit later on in the show. Andrew Theo says, what's up, Ken? I've been watching Face Off, American-Made, Fletch, and The Commuter. That's a hell of a combination right there. Face Off, American-Made. I haven't seen American-Made. That's the one with Michael Keaton, right? I think that's the one with Michael Keaton. I do have it on Blu-ray. I need to watch it. Fletch is a classic with Chevy Chase, and The Commuter I actually enjoyed. I think I remember enjoying that movie. That's one with Liam Neeson. Danny K Review says, did you watch Willy's Wonderland? I liked it. Yes, I did. I watched that last Wednesday, I think, Wednesday night, and I reviewed it on my Instagram actually last night. So you can go check out my thoughts on my Instagram page. So yeah, I thought it was pretty fun. I gave it like I think I gave it like a 7 out of 10 or something. Revd 4K, what's up, everybody? What is up, Red 4K? How are you doing tonight? Appreciate you being here. Praddy says, we love to see you throwing movies around, Ken. Don't sell yourself short. Well, you're going to be getting to see a lot more of me throwing my movies around because I'll have another collection video hopefully out this week. I think I'm going to do my Arrow collection this week, or I might do my Steelbooks. Maybe my Steelbooks this week. Let's see. I watched I Care a Lot. It's a good one. Glad you enjoyed it, man. Glad you enjoyed it. So we got about 13 people in here right now. Glad everybody could join us. What we're basically doing right now, we're just opening the show. We're just warming up. If you guys want to drop what you've been watching in the chat, we can talk about it. I'm going to be talking about a couple of movies later. I'm going to be talking about I Care a Lot. I watched quite a few newer movies last week. I watched Greenland, which I enjoyed. I talked about. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more later on in the stream. Also watched Willy's Wonderland. It was fun. I enjoyed it for what it was. But Love and Monsters was really good. I enjoyed that one quite a bit. I watched that one last week. I actually watched that one with my kids. Some really cool. That's a movie that it's been getting a lot of buzz, but I don't feel like I heard anything about it when it was actually in theaters last year. I only recently started hearing all the buzz for it. And that movie reminded me a lot, actually, of like Zombieland. It wasn't as like raunchy or bloody or gory or anything, but just like the post-apocalyptic thing, kind of traversing and having to get through the monsters and stuff. Just reminded me in the same kind of way. Just the style of it reminded me of Zombieland. So I did enjoy Love and Monsters quite a bit. Just a really good story. Some really fun characters and some really cool like creatures and monsters. The only gripe that I had is apparently this meteorite or whatever that came down and transformed all the bugs and the reptiles. Like, you didn't really get to see a whole lot of reptiles. It was mostly bugs. So I kept on waiting to see a big giant ass snake or a big alligator or crocodile, and they never really showed that. So let's see. Movies and Sue says Nomadland is fantastic, especially the cinematography. I Care a Lot wants you to sympathize with a ruthless character, which I had a problem with. You know what? Me and you might actually have similar opinions on the movie, but I'll save that for a little bit later. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Nomadland. Of course, the great, I'm blanking on her name. I blank on names so much. I know she won the Oscar for Best Actress, Fargo woman. God, is it going to come to me? Is it going to come to me? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Somebody drop the name down below. No, it's Tom Cruise in American Made. Oh, okay. Tom Cruise. Michael Keaton. What was the other one I think it was like American Assassin. I think that's what it was. I think that's what I'm thinking of. There is also an American Made with Doug Liman and Tom Cruise. The Barry Seal story. It was fun. Have you all seen it? Yep. I need to check that one out. Can you pick a Blu-ray behind you at random without looking and talk about it? I mean, this isn't really that kind of stream, but since you asked, now I'm looking. Hopefully I've seen it because I haven't seen a lot of my movies. Midnight Lace with Doris Day. I haven't seen this movie, but I'll talk about it for a second because there was a really cool find at the thrift shop, or it was like a flea market or something. It's across the street from my house. This is only $5. It's a Kino Lorber title, which is really cool. So I do want to watch this at some point, though. But yeah, sorry I haven't seen it yet. All right, let's see. Daniel Otero says, I got up on that Fly set on Amazon. Yeah, how much was that? That was $35, right? That was $35. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. That was a better deal than what I got at Walmart for $40. So I thought Dark and the Wicked was decent. Okay, I've heard like it's as good as Hereditary. Like it's been getting praised a lot, but I haven't exactly been in line with the horror community. And like what feels like the past year, because every single movie that everybody praises and hypes up as far as horror, I haven't really enjoyed all that much. Like The Lodge, The Relic. I know we talked about that the other night on the stream, Daniel. The Relic sucked. It was completely horrible. I did not enjoy that one at all. Yeah, there's just a bunch of movies, horror movies that I haven't really jived with. Good one, Danny. Pick Vertigo, Ken. Yeah, Vertigo's over here. I think it's in my Hitchcock collection right below me. So Red 4K dropped into Best Buy tonight to grab Jaws 4K Steelbook, and this Best Buy has about half a shelf of movies nowadays. Makes me sad to see. I know, man, it sucks every single time. And I know Movies and Soup probably feels my pain there, but when we go into Best Buy and it's like the shrinking shelves and aisles, it's like we have less material to work with as far as filming our videos. And it's like, I really have to improvise to make interesting videos when I go into Best Buy now, because it's like one corner shelf and then it's like a couple of standees and that's it. And that's both the Best Buys in my area. I mean, Walmart probably has the most. They feel like Walmart has, my Walmart at least actually felt like it added a couple of shelves from before. So Francis McDormand. There we go. There you go. Yeah, I'm terrible with names on the live stream. I'm terrible. Like if I'm in real life talking about a movie to a person, like I can remember a name like that. But if I'm here like talking to all of you all on the stream, I can't remember for shit. Ken, are you going to do more thrifting videos? Absolutely, Sam. Last week was a little rough. There was a lot of snow in my area, so I didn't go out. I had planned to drop that Best Buy video like the week before, but I kind of held it and dropped it on Tuesday for my Tuesday video. So hopefully this week I'll be able to get out and film a Blu-ray hunting video, and then I'll probably try to get some footage for a thrifting vlog to drop that weekend. That's my hopes anyway. Danny K Review says, my favorite Frances McDormand movie is Three Billboards. She was fantastic in that movie for sure. That's a great movie. My favorite is still Fargo. I love her in Fargo. She's awesome in that movie. Three Billboards was pretty darn good. Yes, it was. I feel like that's a movie that a lot of people, it was hyped when it came out. A lot of people have forgotten about that movie. I don't really hear it being brought up anymore, at least not in the same way that others around that same time get brought up. We have to get creative when filming videos. The challenge. It is a challenge. It is a struggle every single time I'm going to go out, especially when there's just not that much coming out. Like last week, it was convenient that the snow came in because there really wasn't shit that came out in stores last week anyway. So it was kind of nice to not really have to worry about going out last week, to not feel that pressure, because it's like I'm snowed in. I can't go out. Let's see. Have you seen the new Wrong Turn? No, but I really want to because I've heard some really good things. I don't know what that is on demand yet, but I've gone this far anyway. I know it comes on Blu-ray in a couple of weeks. I think I'm just going to go ahead and blind buy it and pick it up when it comes out. Let's see. Reaction for Life is in here. What is up? Of course, Reaction for Life. I always have to throw that for life in. So he said, what state do you live in? I live in Kentucky, the bluegrass state. Reaction. Let's see. Danny K says, favorite Tim Burton movie? Mine is Beetlejuice. Well, mine's Beetlejuice as well, buddy. The Beetlejuice is actually in my top 5 movies of all time. Absolutely love that movie. And it looks great in 4K. All right, so I got a couple of things that I want to do. So I got this Falcon and Winter Soldier trailer queued up, and I haven't seen it, but I know that they dropped a new one a couple of days ago. So I was going to go ahead and play that for you guys and just kind of react to it and maybe talk about it a little bit. And I just want to try to test some of the mechanics of this, some of the tools and stuff in this StreamYard. So let's see if I can pull this off successfully. I think I already have it uploaded. All right, let's watch the Falcon, and let me know if you guys can hear it, because I didn't know the other day when I did my Mortal Kombat trailer reaction that you could add the sound. There was like a button to press to add the sound, and I didn't know that. So now I do. So let me know if you can hear this trailer a little bit better when I play it. So here we go, and hopefully this is the right one and not just a repeat.
A good friend of mine once said, the price of freedom is high.
Is this new? It looks kind of new.
Will be. It's time. Where do we start? Exclusively on Disney Plus.
Okay. Was that it? Was that all there was to it? Okay. Seems cool enough. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that a lot. And that actually will segue us into the next topic. I'm going to talk about Wandavision episode 7. So did everybody get a chance to watch Wandavision episode 7 titled, hold on. Let me put this up real quick. Bam. Breaking the Fourth Wall. Did anybody get a chance to watch this episode? I watched it on Friday night when I got home from work, and I enjoyed the episode all the way up until the end. And I don't want to reveal what happens in the end because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody that hasn't seen it. But basically, there's a reveal. It's something that a lot of people saw coming. But I don't know. I just wasn't satisfied with the way they pulled it off. And maybe they'll continue it next week and they'll explain a little bit more. And it'll come off a little bit better and it'll improve my feelings on it. But I don't know. I'm conflicted on it because to me, it kind of lessens and weakens Wanda a little bit as a character in my mind. Because, yeah, it's really tough to talk about without spoilers. So let me go back to the chat real quick. Let me get back to the chat. Sam the Man said he did not see episode 7. So, all right. So I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it was a really good episode. There were some things that happened with the Monica Rambeau character that was really freaking cool. That whole sequence where she's trying to break into the force field was super awesome. I love, of course, I'm a huge Office fan. I know it was kind of riffing off of the other show, Modern Family, and I haven't seen Modern Family. So I didn't get any of those references, but I got, as soon as they kicked into the theme song, that was straight up Office. So to do that kind of the Office style was really cool to see in the show. And I love that whole progression of like all of these sitcoms and stuff in the different eras. It's really cool. So I enjoyed that about the show, but yeah, it's tough to talk about without like spoiling it. But all I can say is that I did enjoy the episode. I enjoyed a lot of the episode. I'm enjoying the Darcy character an awful lot, way more than in the Thor films. I thought she was pretty funny in this movie. I thought Catherine Hahn had like one of the funniest lines in the entire show when they just kind of cut to her like the Office style, and she's like talking to the camera, breaking the fourth wall. And she said like she bit a child once, and just the way she delivered it, I was like dying. But yeah, I'm not going to say it's the weakest episode. I'm conflicted on what happened at the end. And if they do a little bit better job of like picking it, just the way it happened, the way it was revealed, it just didn't really vibe with me. I don't know. But like I said, it's something that they could improve upon in future episodes. So who knows? Hopefully they do that. But let's see. But yeah, what do you guys think of the episode? Let me know in the chat. I'll kind of bring up a couple of more comments here. Let's see. Wrong Turn comes out this Tuesday. Does it come out? Hold on, I missed Pratty's. Fargo totally nails the black comedy aspect. The stakes are high, but it never fails to make you laugh. Yep, definitely love that one. That's probably top 3 Coens for me. No Country for Old Men's always going to be my number 1. I love that movie. Daniel Ortero says Wrong Turn comes out this Tuesday. Does it come out on Blu-ray this Tuesday? Because that's awesome. I can't wait to pick it up. Cannot wait to pick it up. It snowed in Texas last week and power came out. I know Texas got it horribly bad. Way worse than I did. I mean, I got like, I don't know, probably like 10 inches of snow or something. But it wasn't like terrible or anything. Not like Texas. Sam said it looks awesome. Daniel Otero says, I'm hyped for the new Mortal Kombat movie. Yeah, definitely. And I did, just to let you all know, if you haven't seen it, I did a trailer reaction for Mortal Kombat the other morning, Thursday morning. It was pretty cool because I never really done it like that. I waited for the trailer to drop, and when it dropped, I did the reaction. The video did like super well, like one of my best videos. So it was kind of cool to kind of get into that, and I'm hoping to maybe do another one this week because, I forgot the other thing I was going to mention is that Zack Snyder, the Army of the Dead, dropped its poster today. So let me see if I can possibly bring that up for you guys in case you haven't seen it. Okay. It's a pretty cool poster. Pretty cool poster. Let's see. Like I said, you guys are going to have to bear with me a bit. I'm not finding it on here. Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right, let's see if I can get it over here. All right. Man, this is very stressful. This is very stressful with you. Thank you all for bearing with me, though. Still got 12 people in here. If you guys have not hit that like button yet, I would definitely appreciate it if you did. All right. I think I got it. Is it up? Not as big as it should be. But there you go. I know it's small, but like I said, I'm still trying to work all this stuff out. But yeah, it's a pretty cool poster. It's a pretty cool poster. It's, I'm excited for the movie. Like I said, it's probably the most excited I am for a Zack Snyder project this year because I'm not like too excited for the Justice League movie. But yeah, Dawn of the Dead. I don't know if I've said this before, but that's my favorite Zack Snyder movie. That's my favorite zombie movie. I think that's just one of the best zombies movies. I'm not a big into the zombie genre, to be honest. Like I like The Walking Dead, but it's not really for the zombies. It's more of the survival aspect. But just talking about like the pure, just like zombies eating people, running around. I think Dawn of the Dead's like one of the best ever made. I remember when that trailer came out, it freaking hooked me. Saw it in theaters. It was like one of the coolest theatrical experiences ever. I just love that movie. Scary, tense, action-packed, and definitely something I need to watch again soon. So, yeah, I actually think it's better than George A. Romero's movie. So I am excited for Zack Snyder to get back into the zombie genre, to be honest, and hopefully leave all this superhero stuff behind. Unless he does Man of Steel 2. If he does Man of Steel 2, I'm all in. But get away from all this Justice League bullshit. I'm over it. Let's see. Reaction for Life said, can you reaction to Zack Snyder Justice League breakdown? What is that? Can you reaction to Zack Snyder Justice League breakdown? You mean like when the movie comes out? Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch it and talk about it. That's for sure. I did not see episode 7. Why that trailer sound in Falcon Winter Soldier sounds like Fast and Furious. Just me. I got to get going. We'll check out the rest on replay. Peace. Well, thank you for joining, Danny K. I appreciate you being here tonight, buddy. 4K Corner said people were spoiled by the last few episodes, so they kind of badmouthed this one. Yeah, kind of. Episode 7 was good. Could have been better with that reveal, which honestly we all saw coming. Oh, but there's a major thing that happens in the final episode, maybe Doctor Strange. Yeah, it's something big. It's something big. At least that's what they said. But yeah, I don't know. It just felt like it just came out. It didn't come out of nowhere, but like it was just so matter of factly. It was just like, okay, this is what it is. It's like they take you through this like comical montage of all the stuff that happened before that you didn't see, but now you're supposed to see, and it's all supposed to make sense. And it just came off not that great to me. I don't know. Daniel Ortega says, yeah, Wrong Turn has a Blu-ray. I'm picking it up. Awesome. Yeah, definitely going to pick that up this week and maybe do an unboxing and review on my channel. Patrick Coran is here. He says, hello again. Hello, Patrick. Thank you for coming tonight. Let's see. Can you react to Zack Snyder Justice League trailer breakdown? So you want me to react to the Justice League trailer that dropped last Sunday? Because I kind of did that on last Ken's movie experience. So, but I didn't have this set up. I kind of just reacted to the sound. So are you going to be watching the Borderlands movie when that comes out? Sure thing, man. Absolutely going to be watching it. That's the who's directing that movie? I know they just did all the casting for it, and like Jamie Lee Curtis is in it or something, but or Jack Black's playing Claptrap. How many comic book shows and movies do I have to keep up with? I'm getting tired. I feel your pain, man. I feel your pain, but if they're good, I'm happy with it. Like I'm really enjoying WandaVision. I think it's a really great show. And Falcon Winter Soldier looks really good too. So as long as they're good and they sparse them out a little bit, I think it could be cool. Can you react to Zack Snyder Justice League trailer breakdown? Vinny Conrad is here. He said, what's up, buddy? What is up, man? Patrick Grant says Eli Roth is directing Borderlands. Oh, never mind, man. I'm not excited. No, Eli Roth, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because I think that the clock, what is it called? The clock with the, I forget what the name of the clock with the house with the clock in its walls. That's what it is. I think that was a pretty good children's adventure movie with some good special effects work in it. So if he brings that same kind of style and sensibility to the Borderlands movie, he could pull it off. What's your last horror Blu-ray pickup? Let me see. Host. I got Host. I actually didn't pick anything up last week at all. For one, I didn't go out and I just didn't order anything online. But I did receive a package in here that I ordered the week before, and I'm going to be doing an unboxing of that this week as well. So let's see. Nobody slowed it. Break down the scenes in the trailer. Okay, so you just want me to kind of slow it down for you? I might do that. Maybe I'll do that when it gets closer to the release. Sorry, no problem, man. No problem at all. I watched The King of Comedy the other day, and I won't be able to hate Scorsese ever, even when he keeps saying the most debatable stuff. That is one that I still need to see, Pratty, because I've seen a lot. I've been watching a lot of Scorsese over the past couple of years. I've caught up on a lot of his stuff. But there's like that one and Casino. Those are like the two big ones that I still need to see. Are you going to be put for new release physical media Tuesday? Yes, I will be going in stores this week. At least that's the plan. Did you know Dollar Tree got more DVDs in? I did not, but maybe I will stop by there this week. So let's go ahead and get into this movie, I Care a Lot. And I'm going to, let's see. Yep, if you guys stick around for all of my stuff, you guys are real troopers. All right. All right. Share. Okay. All right, that's not the way I want it. All right, so if anybody saw this movie over the weekend, it's kind of the new hot movie that everybody's talking about this week. Other than Nomadland, but that movie kind of came out a few months ago. People have been buzzing about that one, but this movie kind of reminded me the way that people were buzzing about it and saying how good it was, of a promising young woman a little bit. In which case, like, I went into it really hyped because I thought it was going to be super good, and it honestly didn't really deliver for me. I enjoyed like certain aspects of it. I do think that Rosamund Pike was very good in the film. I just didn't like her character that much. I didn't really like what she was doing in the movie. Even though I recognized her performance was really strong, I didn't like the character that much. And I think the thing is that you're not supposed to like the character all that much, and you're supposed to. But the weird thing that the movie does is it sets you up to not like this person. This person is this a despicable human being. The things that she's doing, she's basically exploiting these old people and taking all their money. So you're not supposed to like this person at all. She's a despicable human being. And then they introduce the Peter Dinklage element and the mafia. And it just kind of goes off it goes some unexpected places. Like, I didn't expect this movie to go to the lengths that it did in some of the parts, but yeah, it just, I don't know. I didn't jive with the tone of it. Like, the score in it was very strange too. It was like this kind of synth wave, kind of electric music, and I didn't think it fit the actual movie all that well. And the grandma in the movie, or Peter Dinklage's mom, I was kind of hoping she was going to be in it a little bit more. She's really not in it that much at all. She's in it a little bit in the beginning. And I thought she was going to be a bigger character. There's going to be more interaction between her and Rosamund Pike, but it's really more about her and her interaction with the older lady's son, Peter Dinklage. So, like I said, I did enjoy certain parts of the movie, but I think at the end of it, when I came away, and it does something at the very end where I thought it was just going to leave you with the whole, like, the bad people were going to get away with everything. It was going to be one of those type of movies. And the way that it ends, it kind of made up for it a little bit. But it still felt like a very jarring, just kind of strange ending for how they had built up the rest of the film. And I don't know. It was a movie that I thought everybody was really good in it. All the performances were very good. It's just, I don't know. It was just, I didn't connect with it really on any level at all. And I just didn't get how, I understand this is a fantasy and this is a fictional movie. I didn't understand how Rosamund Pike was such a badass and how she felt like she had that much moxie to go against the freaking mafia when all she had done was scam old people. Like, she had no like background or reputation in being a badass or being some kind of like action savvy hero or anything. But I don't know. To me, it's like, I'm going to score it. I'm going to review it on my page. But to be honest, I'm probably going to give it like a 6.5 out of 10 or something. This is like a 3 out of 5 for me as far as a movie. Like I said, I had issues with it, and I just came away just not really enjoying the movie that much. Like, I really didn't like the score. I didn't like the way the score really, I didn't think it gelled with the movie at all. But yeah, if anybody saw it in the chat, let me know what you guys thought of it. Let's see. Are you going back on 4K Corner Challenge? Yeah, for sure. When I'm invited back. Patrick Coran says, does she win at the end? I don't really want to spoil it because there's people that are watching that might not have seen it yet. But kind of. I'll say kind of, maybe. Pratty says, that was my problem as well. There's no one to root for, so when it ends, you're like, meh. The acting's great, though. Love the actress who played the key patient. Yeah, she's the mom in Edward Scissorhands. That's what I know her from. She was in a bunch of movie roles, like in the 80s and 90s, as like the mom in like the family movies. I think she was in Parenthood, too, if I'm not mistaken. So, like I said, it's not a bad movie. It has great style, like the direction, the visuals, the cinematography. It's like the overall aesthetic. Like, it's really bright and shiny. And it's pretty to look at, I guess is what I'm saying. But I don't know. It really felt like a story, like story-wise, it felt like a movie that would have been made in the 90s. This felt like a movie that could have been made in the 90s, not stylistically or tonally. It was very like modern in that sense. But like the story itself, just like the idea of a woman that takes advantage of old people, and she takes advantage of the wrong older lady and gets involved in the mafia. That just sounds like a movie that would have come out in like the late 80s or 90s, that kind of premise. So yeah, it was like I said, I can understand why people are going to like this movie. But to me, it's like the same kind of problems I had with Promising Young Woman. It just, for some reason, I couldn't connect with that main character. And I just came away from the movie just feeling kind of cold and not very satisfied, even though the ending made up for a little bit, just like with Promising Young Woman. It has an ending that makes up for what happens before it a little bit for me, but it doesn't really excuse all the stuff that happened before it. Vinny Conrad said, "Did you see Come Play?" I did not. I need to watch that though. I need to watch that. Maybe I will watch it this week. Hey Ken, I got a Sunday off work. It's nice to be here live. Awesome, you could join us here live, man. I appreciate you being here. We're just talking about I Care a Lot, the movie that came out on Netflix over the weekend. Vinny Conrad said, "Who's your favorite actors?" I have a lot of favorite actors, Vinny. A lot of favorite actors. Let's see. I like Tom Hanks. I like Tom Hanks a lot. I like Leonardo DiCaprio a lot. I like Brad Pitt. Yeah, there's a lot of Ryan Gosling, J.K. Simmons, to name a few. I like all those. I like Emma Stone. I like Emily Blunt. A lot of those actors and actresses I enjoy quite a bit. 4K Corner said, "Everyone is always welcome." Awesome, man. Awesome. We need to do a battle royal, 4K Corner. When are we need to do a Royal Rumble tournament. I know it's probably like later on down the line. You don't want to blow all your big events in the very beginning, but I think we should build up to some kind of a battle royal or something. I think that could be pretty fun. 4K Corner is in the house. Yes, he is, Vinny. So let's get on to the main event of the show, and that is a tournament battle between some disaster films, some of the greatest disaster films, a couple of ones that might not be so great of all time on this list. But before we get into it, I do want to point out that I will be giving away another digital code at the end of the stream, and it's going to be for, let's see if I got it behind me. It's going to be for The Haunting, the Paramount Presents release of The Haunting. So I will be giving away that digital code at the end of the stream. For those of y'all that are in here, make sure you stick around for that. And again, I will do my begging for likes segment of the show. If you guys are in here right now and you haven't liked the video, we got 15 people watching. I got 11 likes. That means there's at least 4 people that have not liked the stream yet. I would appreciate it if you smash that like button for me real quick. And yeah, we can move on with the tournament battle. So let me explain this to you. I have broken these up into, this is 16 films. I've broken these up into 8 separate matches. We're going to run through all of them together. We're going to vote on all of them together in the chat. So basically, I'll put these 2 together, and you tell me which one is the best of the 2. I'll talk about each one of them for a second. I will weigh in with my thoughts. I'll get a vote as well. And yeah, the one that wins will move on to the next round, and so on and so on. Then we'll move into the quarterfinals, and then we'll move into the finals, and then we will have a winner of the best disaster film of all time. Pretty just asked a good question. Does The Impossible qualify disaster flick criteria? Tom Holland's excellent in it. I will not reveal exactly what is on the tournament battle list, but I can say that you might be happy with some of the choices. Rev'd 4K said, favorite disaster film is Batman and Robin. No bigger disaster than that pile of crap. I wasn't thinking disaster in that sense, Rev 4K, but definitely a good one right there for sure. So basically, my criteria for a disaster film is it just has to have some type of disaster or calamity in it to qualify for it to be a disaster film. So there's all kinds of criteria. There's all kinds of things that you could point to for what makes a disaster film. I mean, when I look it up on Google, there's all kinds of stuff that pops up that, in my opinion, doesn't really qualify as a disaster film, but I get it anyway. So, all right, let's see here, and I will start to pull up the first movie. All right, let's share the screen again. I'm going to pull up this one. All right, did that come up? Did that come up? All right. So our first round is going to be Greenland versus Deepwater Horizon. So Deepwater Horizon was a late entry, and it was because I couldn't figure out between like 3 or 4 different films. I got my 15 nailed down, and then I was trying to figure out between about 4 or 5 ones that aren't as great. Which I'm not saying Deepwater Horizon isn't good. I just not as good as some of the other ones on my list, in my opinion. So I put the poll out between this one and like Geostorm and a couple of others. And this one won in the poll on my YouTube to make it to this round. So basically right now, guys, you are right, Vinny. You are definitely right. So basically right now, guys, we are just going to vote on which of these two, and this is what I'll call, all of my categories are grouped together kind of by theme. This is what I'll call kind of like my modern miscellaneous category. These are just like 2 films that really don't have a whole lot to do with each other. One of them is about an oil rig blowing up, and one of them is about comets hitting Earth. Don't really have a lot to do with each other, but they do both have smoke in the posters. So, but all you all have to do is vote on one of these to move on to the next round. So pretty much here, guys, I like Deepwater Horizon a lot. I thought it was a pretty good movie. I thought Mark Wahlberg was really great in it. It's one of the Peter Berg, Mark Wahlberg team ups, like the one of like 5, I think, that they've done together. And this is definitely one of the strongest. I think that Patriots Day is the strongest that they've done. I would say that this is their second strongest, followed by Lone Survivor. So, but Greenland, to me, like, I just saw it, and it just gave me all of those old school disaster feels without it felt like a movie. It didn't feel like a movie that was made in the 90s. It brought me back to that same feeling that I felt with those disaster films in the 90s. But Greenland really attempts to push that genre forward into new territory, because a lot of the disaster movies, in particular the Roland Emmerich disaster movies like 2012, The Day After Tomorrow, they felt like films that were trying to still be like the ones in the 90s. Like, they were doing all the same jokes, having all the same stupid characters in them. They just felt like the same movies, but they had none of the charm to them that those 90s movies were, because they were just too out of time and too out of place. Greenland brings you back to those old school disaster feels, but it also brings a very modern sensibility to the way that it tells its story and the way it introduces these characters to you. So Greenland, to me, right here is a no-brainer. That one's moving on for me. We got Sam the Man. He voted Greenland. So 1 for Greenland. We got 2 for Greenland. 3 for Greenland. Rev is going Greenland as well. Entire planet just versus just an oil rig. Definitely true. Hey there, horror fans. Phil's Creepy Videos is here. What is up, Phil? How you doing tonight? We are just doing a little disaster film tournament here tonight. We are ranking or pitting together disaster films to find out what is the best disaster film of all time. I have not watched Greenland or Deepwater, but which one? You can vote on the poster, Andrew. Which one of the posters looks good to you? Let's see. Don't forget to smash that like button. I know, Phil. I've been preaching it all night, buddy. Been preaching it all night. So, all right, guys. Patrick Coran voted for Greenland as well. General Hot Pizza said Titanic is the best disaster movie. Whoa, General Hot Pizza. We have not got there yet, but I promise you, we might. So we got a bunch of votes for Greenland, guys. I don't think anybody voted for Deepwater Horizon. So Greenland unanimously moves on to the next round. Phil's creepy video says, I liked Greenland being a type 1 diabetic. I could really relate to the son's character. Yeah, that was a great plot point that they put in the movie for sure. That really led to some interesting stuff. All right, so I'm going to write down Greenland real quick, and we are going to move on to the next round. All right, let's move on to the next round, guys. What is the next round going to be? What is the next round going to be? Oh, there we go. I think General Hot Pizza will be satisfied, and Pratty, because both of these movies, and what I would call the prestige disaster film round, we have Titanic versus The Impossible. Both, one of them is a classic movie that won all of the Oscars and got all of the recognition and is still heavily viewed today and talked about as like one of the best movies of the 90s. It's one of the top 5 highest grossing films of all time. I'm pretty sure it's still in the top 5. And you have The Impossible, which tells the story of the tsunami in 2004. And it's a really good movie. Like Pratty said, this is probably Tom Holland's best performance that he's ever done. I know he's great as Spider-Man, but he's fantastic in this movie, and he's only like 13 or 14. It's got Ewan McGregor in it. It's got Naomi Watts. It is a really gripping, harrowing tale of this family that gets kind of separated by the tsunami. And if you want to talk about like disaster movie sequences, you don't get any better than the sequence in this movie when the initial tsunami wave hits. It is super impressive what they do in this scene. And it really keeps you on the edge of your seat. So The Impossible is a great disaster movie that I don't think a lot of people will think of when it comes to disaster movies, but it is definitely awesome. But Titanic is a classic. So for me, in this one, I do love The Impossible. I know I just talked it up, but I got to go Titanic because, like I said, Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet, two of the best actors and actresses of all time. It is a movie I used to watch more than I care to admit when I was a kid. And yeah, it's got to be Titanic. It's got to be Titanic. But let's see what you guys think. Let's see what you guys think in the chat. Andrew Vio actually voted for Deepwater Horizon, so we did get one for Deepwater Horizon, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to win. Titanic. Vinny Conrad goes The Impossible. I have the Sponge on the Run Blu-ray, and I have a digital code. Will it work if I send the digital code to you? It might. It just might work, General Hot Pizza, if you send the digital code to me. Now, will I watch it? Probably not. But maybe. Maybe I'll watch it with my kids. Titanic. It looks like Titanic is going to take this one, but I'll give people a little bit longer to vote. But we have 5 Titanics, if you count me, and 1 Impossible. So if you haven't voted yet, go ahead and vote, and we will move on to the next round. You got to have a vote for Titanic or The Impossible, right? Everybody see Titanic. Leave a comment if you haven't seen Titanic, because I would definitely be interested to know that. But if nobody else is going to vote, we are going to go ahead and move on. And Titanic is our winner for this round. Titanic is our winner for this round. All right, so bam. 2 asteroid comet movies. I know it's a comet of deep impact, and it's asteroids and Armageddon, right? 2 movies about objects falling from the sky. Both of these movies, and this isn't the only time this sort of thing will show up on this list tonight. Both of these movies came out in the same year. They both came out in 1998. And I remember this because I was 13 when they both came out, and I saw both of them in theaters that summer. And I loved them both because when I was a kid, I was obsessed with disaster movies. I was obsessed with disasters, end of the world scenarios. And yeah, I love both of these movies, to be honest. This is super hard. They're very different films. Armageddon's more the kind of like big budget popcorn, just kind of fun thrill ride, entertaining characters, just funny bits, funny lines. It also has all the stars in it. You got Ben Affleck, Bruce Willis, Liv Tyler, Michael Clark Duncan, freaking Steve Buscemi. It's got so many stars in that movie, and it's just so like endlessly entertaining. But it's a very they're both very different movies because Armageddon. I've had this conversation before. I think it's a disaster movie because there is points in the movie where there are definitive disasters. In the beginning, there's a meteor shower. There's one that hits France or wherever. And but mainly this is a movie about them taking the asteroid out. So they land on the asteroid, and that's where most of the movie takes place, is on the asteroid, which in and of itself is an idea that's ridiculous, right? But in Deep Impact, they actually do the same thing. They go land on the comet and they blow it in half, separating it into two chunks, and one goes away and one's flying towards them still. So, but Deep Impact actually, even though it's more of like a dramatic type film, it actually has the comet hit the Earth, which Armageddon does not, at least the big one. So it's cool because of that, and it does have like the biggest, what I call the money shot sequence. It definitely has a bigger one than Armageddon does, because that gigantic wave that just takes out New York City and just takes out everything is just completely awesome. Even though that movie is a little bit slower and it takes a little bit longer to get to some of the more action heavy moments, there's no denying that wave sequence is like one of the most impressive disaster sequences of any film of all time. So this one, like I said, super difficult for me. But if I remember, it's been a while since I've seen both of them too. For this one, I'm going to go ahead and say Deep Impact, because I feel like when I was a kid, I liked watching Deep Impact better because I liked it. It felt like there was more of a buildup there, and it felt like it paid off a little bit better than Armageddon did. As much as I loved the sequence with Ben Affleck and Bruce Willis crying and screaming in the elevator as Bruce Willis takes the thing and decides to kill himself, and Liv Tyler's holding the TV screen. That's a great ending, but I think that the wave destroying the entire world is a better one. So let's see what we got here from all of you guys. Sam the Man votes Armageddon. General Hot Pizza votes Armageddon. Patrick Curran votes Deep Impact. Revd votes Armageddon. Every round until it wins. All right. Vinny Conrad votes Armageddon. Andrew Fio votes Deep Impact. Morgan Freeman is the president. That's my vote. He's great in the movie. He's definitely great in the movie. Phil's Creepy Video votes Armageddon. Side Hustle Cinema votes Deep Impact, but don't feel good choosing between these two. It's really hard, isn't it? It is a really hard choice. I'm going to be honest. I missed a couple of your guys' stuff up top, didn't I? Let's see. I think you all answered after the fact, but Pratty said this is a tough one, but I gotta go with Titanic. I freaking love it. The Impossible is a one-time watch. It's a good one, but the opening scene is excellent. Yeah. Okay, so Titanic definitively won there. I just wanted to make sure I didn't unfairly give a movie the win. So it looks like we got 2 Armageddons, 3 Armageddons, 4 Armageddons, 5 Armageddons, 6 Armageddons, 7 Armageddons. My wife's in the chat. She voted for Armageddon. Let's see. Harry Stamper may be the greatest hero in movie history. Is he better than the Die Hard character? Let's see. Is Disaster Movie on this list? I can tell you right now it's not. It's not on this list. But it looks like Armageddon's taking this, guys. I'm going Deep Impact. So we got about 4 Deep Impacts. We got about 7 Armageddons. So Armageddon's taking this one. And to be honest, I'm not really that upset about it. I'm not really that upset about it because I do like Armageddon an awful lot. And that was a really tough choice right there because I love them both for very different reasons. And I do love a good comet asteroid movie. That's why I think I like Greenland so much. I had no idea that Greenland was about comets or asteroids when I watched it, actually, which was kind of interesting. So yeah, both are great movies for different reasons, and yeah, either one could win in my book. But Armageddon is taking this round. Let's go ahead and go to the next round, guys. I gotta stop the screen. Gotta share my new screen. All right. Oh, here we go. This is the other mashup that both came out in the same year. We got Volcano versus Dantes Peak, both coming out in 1997. Now, to me, this one is pretty easy. Dantes Peak is a movie that I still own on VHS. I watched this movie at least once a week for like a full year. It was one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid. I just loved the entire build up to it. I thought it did a great job building tension. I love the characters. I love Pierce Brosnan. I love Linda Hamilton in this movie. I think they have great chemistry together. There's only one spot in this movie that gets a little bit goofy, and it was a little hard to watch when I rewatched it last year. The scene where the grandma gets out of the boat and walks like half a mile through the acid water is a little bit unrealistic and kind of ridiculous. But other than that, it's a fantastic movie with another great disaster sequence at the end with the pyroclastic, however you pronounce it, cloud coming down and just destroying everything. Volcano, admittedly, I have only seen maybe twice, and it's been a long time since I've seen it. The thing that I remember about this movie, other than the fact that it has Tommy Lee Jones and Anne Heche in it, is that is the guy that jumps out of the subway, I think, into the lava, and he's like carrying somebody, and he like melts into the ground. It's like a gruesome scene. But yeah, I don't like that one as much. Do not like that one as much. But let's see. Red 4K said, yes. Did John McClane sacrifice his life to save the planet? Didn't think so. No, he did not. You are correct there. You are correct, sir. I think that you're right. I think that is Bruce Willis's greatest hero performance. But what about Glass? He was great in Glass when he drowned in that puddle. Sam the Man says Dantes Peak. 4K Media Guy in the house says hello there. Hello, 4K Media Guy. How you doing tonight? We are just talking about some disaster movies. General Hot Pizza said, though these posters are ugly. I don't think they're ugly. I think they're pretty cool. The Dantes Peak one could pop a little bit more, but that's the classic poster. That's the same one that's on the VHS. Those titles, I haven't seen any. Really, Pretty. You have not seen Dantes Peak? I highly, highly recommend Dantes Peak. Can't highly recommend Volcano, though. Dantes Peak, 4K Media Guy. Andrew Fio says Dantes Peak. Dantes Peak from Patrick Coran. Side Hustle Cinema said Dantes Peak. Red 4K says Volcano because a volcano in a city. That was a cool concept. The trailer, though, was cooler than the movie. I remember seeing the trailer, and it was like, welcome to Los Angeles. And then they like cut to this lava like blowing up in the middle of the city. It was a cool trailer. Pratty said, I thought the film's title was It's Hotter Than Hell. No, it's Volcano. It's Volcano. General Hot Pizza said 6 Dante, 1 Volcano. So I think Dantes Peak is moving on to the next round. All right. How many have we done so far? We've done 4 so far, right? We've done 4 so far. So let's get the other one out here real quick. All right. So these two, not the most popular ones. I think that San Andreas is probably a little bit more popular than the core. But with this round, I will admit it and say that I have not seen San Andreas. I have not seen San Andreas, but I included it because a lot of people bring it up as like one of the better disaster films from the past few years with The Rock. I've still not seen it. I do own it on Blu-ray. I have, however, seen the core. And I saw the core in theaters in 2003, I think, when this movie came out. And I regretted seeing this movie in theaters. That's all I'll say. So even though I haven't seen it, I'll go San Andreas with this round because the core is not a great movie. Not at all. Not by a long shot. So, yeah, it's a completely ridiculous concept about people having to drill to the center of the earth to stop some kind of climate change, something. I don't know. Every disaster movie about climate change, like I immediately just check out because it's not based on anything that's like happened before. I understand climate change real, it could happen or whatever, but it just seems like it's based in a bunch of jibber jabber stuff that just doesn't make sense. At least not to me. I like stuff that's more concrete, like earthquakes, tornadoes, hurricanes, volcanoes, stuff that's like actually happened. But like the day after tomorrow, like I think that's the strongest one. But then 2012 is basically just the world's just ripping apart and blowing up from the inside, and none of it makes sense. All right, so San Andreas seems like it's going to take this one, except for Rev 4K, who seems to be the contrarian tonight. He says, The Rock, I'm going the core. Okay. The core does have Aaron Eckhart in it, who is a really good actor. And Hilary Swank, too, if I'm not mistaken. San Andreas. Yeah, was getting annoyed at Dwayne. He was in every single movie coming out at this time. It felt like that a little bit. And I had his other movie, which would have been interesting if those two movies were pitted together. I had Skyscraper in the poll to be voted on because that's kind of a disaster film, right? I would say so. All right. 4K Corner said San Andreas, Carla Gugino. Yep. She is in that film. She is also in Gerald's Game, which is one of the very underrated horror film on Netflix. It came out a couple of years ago. And another very underrated Pauly Shore film called Son-in-Law, which was the first time I remember seeing her in a movie. Pratty says, San Andreas for me as well, though I can't remember what happens in the film. Yeah, I can't remember either because I haven't seen it. Side Hustle Cinema says, San Andreas is awesome. What's wrong with you, Ken? Quit your job, stay at home and watch San Andreas and Monster Squad. You know, I've been looking for an excuse to quit my job, and you just gave it to me, Side Hustle. I'm quitting this week, and I will watch movies full time. I just need a little bit of help from you guys as far as financially. If you could support me full time, I'll quit and just watch movies all the time. 8, San Andreas won the core. Awesome. So San Andreas will move on to the next round. As I pause to write that down. And we've got 3 more matchups to go, guys. Let's see all right, haven't done that one yet. Haven't done that one yet. Haven't done that one, that one. All right. All righty. Oh, not that one. Not that one. I knew I was going to share the same screen twice. I knew that was going to happen. All right. The next one is Into the Storm and Twister. This is our tornado round, so to speak. And yeah, we're talking about Into the Storm and Twister. So this one to me is super easy because Into the Storm is not very good. It's not a very good movie. And it's kind of ridiculous. Like I said, I don't know. There's like so many tornadoes. It's so ridiculous. Twister is just more grounded and feels realer because I love just how it's structured and set up, because it's like it literally goes from an F1 tornado to an F5 and just takes you through all 5 of the tornado types throughout. So that is very interesting. 4K Corner said, love Son-in-Law. I do too, man. Side Hustle Cinema said, turn on your super chat. I know. I need to. Sam the Man says Twister. Definitely Twister. Twister, no cap. Sean Whalen forever. Vinny Conrad said, this is going all night. I'm sorry, Vinny. If you want to take a nap, just don't leave the stream. You can take about a 5-10 minute nap, and we'll probably be close to being done. Red 4K said, Twister, RIP Bill Paxton. Yes. Twister is just like, same thing with Dante's Peak. It's a movie that I probably watched like every single week for a straight year when it came out. I still have it on VHS. It was one of like the first VHSs that I remember buying myself in stores. And yeah, it's such an awesome movie. Great performances by Bill Paxton, Helen Hunt. Just such a great cast, such a fun movie. It takes some really cool turns. And it's a movie that I know me and 4K were talking about needs to get a 4K release because it would look freaking incredible. I'm just picturing that sequence at the drive-in where the tornado's ripping the screen with The Shining on it apart. And it gives me goosebumps just thinking about watching that in 4K. I have to go with Into the Storm because it's so outrageous. That's a hot take. That is a hot take. Vinny Comrade said Twister. Side Hustle Cinema said Into the Storm. Twister miles away. Rebbed 4K. Twister still holds up today. I agree with you. What about Sharknado? No Sharknados tonight, 4K. I haven't seen any Into the Sharknados. General Hot Pizza said 7 Twister, 1 Into the Storm. Thank you for doing that tally for me, General Hot Pizza. I appreciate that. All right, so next up, we are going into, let's see. We're going into the climate change portion of the disaster of the rounds, and that is The Day After Tomorrow versus 2012. So I just watched 2012, and outside of like the first 30 minutes, I don't really enjoy the movie at all. I thought it looked great in 4K, but to me, like, even though I haven't seen The Day After Tomorrow in probably like 15 years, Day After Tomorrow easily takes this one for me. As far as like both of these movies directed by Roland Emmerich, both coming out post 2000, an era where I don't think the disaster movie really thrived like it did in the 90s. But yeah, I'm going Day After Tomorrow here just because I just watched 2012, and if I remember correctly, at least The Day After Tomorrow has Jake Gyllenhaal in it, and he's a great actor. And it's also got Dennis Quaid. So good actors. The Day After Tomorrow, The Day After Tomorrow, The Day After Tomorrow, The Day After Tomorrow. We have 5 Day After Tomorrows so far. Looks like that's probably going to take it because I am a Day After Tomorrow as well. So there is 6 Day After Tomorrows. If anybody else wants to vote and try to bring up 2012, but really, what's the point? What is the point? All right, so the last one I don't have the image for. I forgot to upload it, so I'm just going to have to tell it to you. But this is the space portion of the voting block, and that is Gravity versus Independence Day. And yes, I would say that Gravity is very much a disaster film. It is a disaster that happens in space. And then, Sandra Bullock and George Clooney have to try to survive this disaster in space. And I think it's one of the most gripping disaster films ever made. Like, I'm literally on the edge of my seat, tensed up the entire time I'm watching Gravity. It's so freaking immersive. Seeing that movie in theater, like, I almost felt like I was going to throw up watching that movie. And not just because of like how it spun you around and everything, just how tense it was. It just really got to me in the theaters. And yeah, it's such a good movie. Such a good movie. But Independence Day is iconic. It is a movie from my childhood that is so important and pivotal. I can't talk tonight. Pivotal in my love for film. It's played such a big part in just how I enjoy and like movies, especially like blockbusters. And it was one of the biggest blockbusters, if not the biggest blockbuster of the entire 1990s. And it was another movie that I own the VHS tape, the one with the cover that you turn it and it sees the light come down. So as much as I love Gravity, and I think it's like the number 6 movie of the past 10 years. Like I did my top 25 of the decade, and that was like number 6. I love Gravity so much. But if we're going favorite here, the movie I've carried with me the longest, the movie I've probably seen 50 times, my favorite Will Smith movie, my favorite Jeff Goldblum movie, my favorite Roland Emmerich movie, if that counts for anything. I have to go Independence Day. I have to go into, even though technically Gravity is a so much better made movie and it's going to hold up a lot better. But it's a childhood classic of mine, and those hold so much more weight to me than any like prestige film. So yeah, because that's how I fell in love with movies, is watching movies like Independence Day. So they're very important to me. And Rev 4K voted for 2012 up here, the contrarian. Independence Day. Pridey says Gravity. This might be the most divisive round, actually, now that I think of it. Independence Day, Gravity, Independence Day. You got 3 Independence Days. You got 4 Independence Days. Independence Day because Clooney did Batman and Robin and he was in Gravity. Oh, come on, man. Clooney's done a lot of great stuff, though. All right, so 4 Independence Days, 5 if you count me. We got 2 Gravities so far, 3 Gravities, 4 Gravities, 6 Independence Days, and let's see, 7 Independence Days. Side Hustle says Hurricane Heist. No, that's like bottom of the barrel disaster. I could only do 16. I didn't like Vinny said earlier, this is going to take all night already, so I couldn't bump it up from higher than 16. I think I chose some pretty decent disaster films, if I do say so myself. I didn't get some of the classic films like Tower Heist or Towering Inferno, Poseidon. There's some classic disaster movies that I haven't seen, so I didn't include those. So I think Independence Day's taking this one. General Hot Pizza said Godzilla 1998 versus Transformers 2007. I wouldn't see, that's where I struggle a little bit, like with the disaster, because I would have included Cloverfield, because that's kind of a disaster movie a little bit, but also I think that's its own category. That's kind of like big monster movie. It's a monster movie. Same with Transformers, big robot movie. So I would kind of group those in a separate category. I don't know. The disaster movie to me is its purest when it's not like a life form or something that's like can think think for itself. It's like an external force that doesn't have a mind of its own that's taking us out. I think that's the purest disaster film. But then again, I put Independence Day in here, but it's got great disaster sequences. It freaking destroys almost the entire world. So I don't know. My logic is probably not perfect, but it's how it worked out in my head. Let's Talk Nerd said, hey guys, just got here, but Cloverfield is my answer to whatever it is. Cloverfield is not included. Let's Talk Nerd. It is not included. Hurricane Heist, 6 Independence Day, 3 Gravity, Godzilla 1988 versus Cloverfield. I love Godzilla 1998, actually. I do like it a lot. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. Cloverfield wins that one for me. I love Cloverfield. It's one of my favorite found footage movies, and I love the found footage genre. I'm one of those people. So Independence Day is moving on, guys. And I don't have images for anything else because obviously I didn't group them together. I didn't know what was going to win. So we are going to go from the top here as I have them wrote down. And I'm going to pit together The Day After Tomorrow versus Twister. The Day After Tomorrow versus Twister. Which is the better movie? Side Hustle Cinema said, I would have just included natural disasters. I know. And I think I did for the most part. There was, Gravity you could technically count as a natural disaster, right? It was like a debris in the atmosphere that was causing it. So I would say that was a natural disaster. Really, the only one I think on my list, I would say Titanic's a natural disaster. They hit an iceberg. I think the only one on my list that wasn't a natural disaster was Independence Day. I would say that's the only one. So we are going with Twister versus The Day After Tomorrow. And the winner of that will go on to the next round. Twister versus The Day After Tomorrow. Vinny Conrad. Twister. It's a Twister. The Day After Tomorrow. Twister. We got 2 Day After Tomorrows. CC Cinema's in the house. Hey, everyone. Hey, CC. How are you doing tonight? Twister. So it looks like we've got about 5 Twisters, and we got 2 Day After Tomorrows. How could you all vote for Day After Tomorrow over Twister? Twister is just, it's too iconic. Too iconic. All right. The Day After Tomorrow. This will be a huge upset if the Day After Tomorrow actually won over Twister. I don't know about that. I don't know if I could get down with that. I might have to pull a Winter Soldier again and overrule it if that happened. If Let's Talk Nerds in the chat, he knows what I'm talking about. He knows what I'm talking about. But we're going with Twister here, guys. It looks like we're going with Twister. And next matchup will be San Andreas versus Dantes Peak. And to me, this is very clear. I'll go Dantes Peak. Like I said, this is one of those iconic movies from my childhood, and I have not seen San Andreas. So I have not seen San Andreas. General Hot Pizza said Day After Tomorrow. Patrick Curran says, I have to get out of here. Now have a good night. Have a good night, Patrick. I appreciate you joining us for as long as you did. Let's Talk Nerd said, oh my God, you can't keep doing that. It's my show. I can do what I want, but I wouldn't do that here. I don't feel as passionately about these movies as I did about Winter Soldier. Well, maybe a couple of them. This guy is a tyrant. Dantes Peak, Dantes Peak, Dantes Peak, Rock. So you're going San Andreas. Dantes Peak, Dantes Peak, Dantes Peak. So we got a bunch of Dantes Peaks here. You guys are good people. I knew I liked you guys. I knew I liked you guys voting for Dantes Peak. It deserved to win. It absolutely deserved to win. All right. So the next one that we are going to do is Armageddon versus Titanic. Armageddon versus Titanic. This is a hard one. This is a real Sophie's choice right here. Even though I voted for Titanic before, and I didn't vote for Armageddon earlier, I do think that Titanic is a more prestigious movie. But, hold on. I actually have the Blu-ray of Armageddon. I bought it a couple of weeks ago on a thrifting hunt, and I do really want to watch it again. If you're asking me what I want to watch right now, it's going to be Armageddon. I think I'm going to pick Armageddon for this round. Because I kind of feel a little bad about not picking it before. I think it's a great movie. It's so much fun. And to be honest with you, Titanic kind of disappointed me a little bit when I rewatched it last year. I didn't get down with some of the performances like I remember. I didn't think that Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet were as good as I thought they were when I was younger. And I don't feel like Armageddon will disappoint me when I rewatch it again. So I'm gonna go with Armageddon here. I'm gonna go with Armageddon here myself. I know that Sam the Man's going Titanic. Reb's going 4K. General Hot Pizza's going Titanic because Jack is cute and we see some cherry. Yes, we do. General Hot. We see some cherry. Okay. Armageddon. Titanic, hands down. Is it hands down? Pratty? Because my hand's up. My hand's up right now. Titanic, Armageddon, 2, 3. All right, we got 5 Armageddons if you count me, and we got 3 Titanics. We got 3 Titanics, and we got 5 Armageddons. So Armageddon is winning this fight right now, guys. Is anybody going to turn it around? I'll give you 10 more seconds to turn this around. And the only thing that I can say to maybe possibly sway you is I don't want to close my eyes. I don't want to fall asleep because I'll miss you, baby. And I don't want to miss a thing. Of course, the immortal words of Steven Tyler right there. So Andrew Field says, Michael Clark Duncan, rest in peace. My sentiments exactly. We got another vote for Titanic, but it's not enough. It's not enough. Titanic is, of course, sinking again out of this tournament, and Armageddon is moving on to the final round. Armageddon is moving on. Well, not the final round, but the semifinals. So the next round, guys, is Greenland versus ID4. Greenland versus ID4, and I'm sorry, Let's Talk Nerd. Don't cry. Don't cry. CC Cinema is crying, laughing. There's no boobies in Armageddon. Yes, but there is a navel and animal cracker. So take your pick. ID4, 4K Corner, Independence Day, Sam the Man, Greenland. I like Greenland a lot, but like I said, ID4 is too iconic. You know, I picked that over Gravity. There's no way I can pick ID4 over Greenland. So I'm going ID4 here. Going ID4 here. Titanic fan are burning their keyboard. Oh, yeah. Titanic's a great movie. It's a great. I had to go Armageddon there, though. I had to go Armageddon for all the reasons that I listed. Let's see. We got 2 Independence Days. We got 3 Independence Days. While we're talking about Titanic, has anybody seen the alternative ending? No. What happens? Does Jack actually get his ass up on that door? Is that what happens? I think it might. Let's see. Sam the Man, ID4, Independence Day, 1 for Greenland, 2 for Greenland, 3 for Independence Day. I'm an Independence Day, so that's 4. Wait, we talking ID 1 or 2? I'm definitely talking about ID 1. I would never even bring up ID 2. I like to pretend that movie doesn't exist. If you like it, that's great. I like to pretend it doesn't exist. So I'm sorry. Vinny Conrad voted for Greenland. I burst out laughing so bad. Let's Talk Nerd said ID. Andrew Field says ID Day. ID Day. I'm gonna go ahead and take that as Independence Day. All right, so I think Independence Day won this match right here. General Hot Pizza voted for The Wizard of Oz. That's kind of a disaster movie. I mean, there's a tornado in the beginning, but that is not on the list. So ID4 won, guys. We are moving on to the next round, and we are going with now. These are going to be tough. I'm going to warn you guys right now, and we're heading into the hour-and-a-half mark, so I'm going to try to wrap this up as quickly as possible, but it's really coming down to the wire right now because these 4 movies, these are like my life. These are like my childhood, and it's going to be very hard voting between them. So the first match is Twister versus Dantes Peak. Twister versus Dantes Peak. I love both of these movies. I have to go Twister because I think that Twister is the best disaster movie ever made. It's my favorite. So I'm going to have to go Twister here, even though I love Dantes Peak. Both of these movies have excellent chemistry between their 2 leads. Bill Paxton, Helen Hunt, off the charts. Pierce Brosnan, Linda Hamilton, off the charts. Great chemistry. Great disaster sequences, both just great for the time that they were made in. I think Twister was 1996, Dante's Peak 1997, so they're very close together. Such a great time for disaster movies. You just don't get that. It's like lightning in a bottle back then. Sam the Man voted for Twister. Twister. CC Cinema said Dante's Peak. Eddie S says Twister. General Hot Pizza said Twister and Monopoly. Twister for Bill Paxton. Dante's Peak. Patrick Cran said, I thought I was tired. I guess I was not, so I'm back. You couldn't handle going to sleep without knowing who won the best disaster film of all time, Patrick. That's what it is. All right, so Twister, final answer. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. I think Twister took this one. Now, the next one is Armageddon versus ID4. So both kind of space-based films. I love Armageddon. I do. I think that they both have such star power. Like, these are movies, again, kind of very similar. They both have comedic. They both bring like a lot of comedy into it, a lot of star power, a lot of like great popcorn action fun. It really comes down to the stars. Is Bruce Willis a better star than Will Smith? I don't think so. Because Bruce Willis has gone to straight to DVD movies, and Will Smith is still thriving and in great movies. So, and then you got Ben Affleck, who's in the Snyder Cut. So there you go. And Jeff Goldblum, who's in Thor Ragnarok. If you want to break it down by like Marvel versus DC, we can do that. So yeah, Independence Day. Independence Day all day and twice because it's Sunday. Jacob Baronowski is here tonight. He said, "Hey, yo, Adrian, we did it. 35th anniversary of Rocky IV. The Stallone cut is coming. He is editing it. Awesome. Hopefully they make it better, because this is a controversial opinion. I don't mean to bring Rocky into my disaster movie, but you did it, Jacob. I'll bring in this comment up. I think that Rocky IV is the second worst in the Rocky franchise. I think it's the second worst. And I do enjoy the movie. I like it a lot. I don't enjoy it as much as others, though. It ranks towards the bottom of my Rocky list, so maybe it makes it better. Hopefully it does. All right. I know you didn't just diss Batfleck unsubscribed. Sorry, man. I'm sorry. Let me check my subscribers real quick. Damn, man, you were serious. Look, it's not that I don't like Batfleck as a character. I think he was good as Batman, but the movies he was in was shit. So, and I don't have high hopes for Snyder Cut Justice League. Big nuts, Harry Stamper. My favorite out of all of them is Creed. That's my favorite as well. That is my favorite as well. So, where did we go on this one? We're doing Armageddon and ID4. Did you guys vote already? Rev says Armageddon. CC Cinema said Independence Day. General Hot Pizza said Dantes Peak fan are burning their keyboards. Armageddon, the Will Smith movie. So we got two Dantes Peak. Let's see, my favorite of all of them. All right, so make sure you guys vote, guys, because right now we're tied. We got 2 Armageddons, 2 Independence Days. I'll break that tie saying Independence Day. Rev 4K says off topic, but Batfleck was the best Batman we've gotten on the big screen, but that's a conversation for a different time. It definitely is. Maybe a Batman tournament is in order. Maybe a Batman tournament is in order one day. But I'm Michael Keaton, man. Michael Keaton for life. That's my Batman. So happy he's coming back. All right, so I think Independence Day is going to take it. So it comes down to, guys, this is the final match. This is it. We have arrived at the end. It all comes down to this. We've got tornadoes versus aliens. We got a natural disaster movie versus what some are saying is not technically a disaster movie. It's more of an alien invasion film. So with those two choices in mind, Twister versus Independence Day, what is the best disaster film of all time? And like 4K Corner just said, right here, guys, this is tough. This is tough. I couldn't agree more. I don't even know if I can decide. I think that I'm going to have to let you guys decide this. And I might break the tie because I don't know. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do it tonight. But let's see what you guys can say. Rev 4K said, all right, I'll go Twister, but I'm not happy about it. Yeah, I'm sorry Armageddon lost, man. But, for some reason, a lot of people did vote last round. I almost thought that Armageddon was going to take that one. But really, is Armageddon a disaster film? Is it? I guess it is. Twister is better and Aliens is a thriller. Now, that's a hot take. I thought Aliens was an action movie. ID4 was a more widespread disaster. It was. ID4 Twister is an isolated event. I don't know about isolated, though. It happened in like 5 different spots. And can you imagine how many people died at that drive-in? I don't think all those people made it into that shelter. I really don't. I think they kind of glossed over that a little bit. 4K Corner said, me and Chris thinking alike. General Hot Pizza goes Twister. I'm going Twister as well. Because I did say it was my favorite disaster film of all time. And it's a disaster. Right? What do you think that F5 tornado did that we didn't see on the news? It could have took out so many families and towns and communities we didn't even know about. We freaking saw a house just roll across the road. No context there. Just rolled across the road. Where did that house come from? Where was that family? It got ripped up with the rest of the town is what happened. All right, so is Event Horizon a disaster movie? I would say that it's a horror movie. Horror sci-fi. 4K Corner went ID4. Sam the Man went ID4. Armageddon didn't make it, so he's not voting. I'm sorry, man. Side Hustle Cinema said ID4. CC said ID4. Patrick said ID4. All right, I'll go Twister, but I'm not happy. So that's 5 ID4s, 2 Twisters if you count me, 3 Twisters, 6 ID4. I didn't make a recount for Armageddon. If more people would have voted, I think that Armageddon would have won, but everybody set that round out for some reason. 6 versus 3 right now, and we got 2 more for Twister. So we got 6 versus 5. We got another one for Twister. Is that 6 versus 6? Without Harry Stamper, we wouldn't have gotten Affleck. Was Crawl on the poll? I had to put kids to bed. Everything was flooded, and it was a great flick. Yeah, but that goes into the same kind of thing. I think that Crawl's more of a monster movie, monster horror, because it's more focused on the monster than it is the natural disaster. It's not like the general theme of the movie. So, not that I wouldn't put Crawl. I had to really pick and choose and make some tough choices with the 16 that I put in. I was originally only going to go with 8, which probably would have ended the show at a nice hour mark. But I went with 16 because I always have to go the extra mile here with Ken's movie experience. I have to. So I think, let me go back and recount again because this is too important to not recount. We got 1 for ID4. We got 2 for ID4. We got 3 for ID4, 4, 5. 5 for ID4, 1, 2 for Twister, 3 for Twister. Let's see. Chris went that, so it's 6 for ID4, right? And then there was 6 versus 5. And I think it was 6 versus 5 was what it ended up being. So ID4 did win, which I'm not gonna flip out about. I love ID4. I think it's a great movie. So Twister or ID4 wins the match. It wins the match. Yeah. So what does everybody think about that? What do you guys think of Independence Day winning the best disaster film of all time? There's definitely a lot of disasters in the movie. I mean, you got the 3 major cities of the U.S. blew up in the first 30 minutes of the film. First 30 minutes of the film, they take out New York, LA, Washington, D.C., and then they move around and they do it again. And then a bunch of other cities that we don't even really see about because who cares about them? It's all about America back in the 90s in the disaster films, which is kind of funny when you look back on it. But yeah, Independence Day, guys. Independence Day won this tournament. So with that, we are finished. General Hot Pizza said Twister won because ID4 is an alien movie. Yes, I know, but I did include it in here, so it's fair game. It is a disaster movie. It's a disaster movie and an alien movie, both, I would say. Film Geeks is in here. He says, hey, Ken. Hey, Film Geeks. What is up? How are you doing? You just missed the tournament. Sam the Man says, fun tournament. Yeah, hopefully we can do more of these type of things. I'll try to come up with more types of themes and stuff moving forward. Mars Attacks is better than Independence Day. I love Mars Attacks. And that's another interesting parallel for the year. I think both of those movies came out in 1996. So let's see. Chris Morrow says, too bad the sequel to ID4 was so mediocre in the storyline. I know, that movie is crap. I was excited for that movie too. I didn't think it would be as good as the first Independence Day, but I thought like the trailers made it out to be look like it was going to be pretty cool. But I should have known Will Smith wasn't involved. CC Cinema says, I love Will and ID4, and Vivica did a great job as well. She did. She absolutely did. They were both great in the movie. I liked how they gave Vivica like her own thing to do. Like she had something to do in the movie. She was actually a pretty important character. I wouldn't have called it a disaster movie, but it was in the tournament. It was. I love Mars Attacks. Mars Attacks is awesome. General Hot Pizza said next tournament. So I don't know when I'll do the next tournament. We'll figure it out. It probably won't be next week. I'll probably rotate in and out different events and stuff because that's what I kind of want this show to be is just like different events and like, I don't know, tournaments, rankings, but stuff to like get you all involved. I don't want it to just be me getting up here talking about stuff, talking about my top 10, whatever. I really want to involve you guys because I think it's more fun to do that. So every Sunday, we're going to do these type of things. And maybe we'll do like just the best of, or we just all talk about, like I did on the first episode of the Ken's Movie Experience. I talked about the best Nicolas Cage movies, and we all just had a round table discussion on our favorite Nicolas Cage films. So definitely cool. I've got other ideas. I've got other things I can do as I kind of get more into this system setup that I've got and maybe upgrade the StreamYard. I'm still trying to figure out if it's something that I want to use like long term before I actually spend money on it. Maybe I can start doing different things on here for you guys. So Cinephile Nation said, great tournament, some great additions to the watch list today. Definitely watch Dantes Peak, Pratty. I want you to watch it, and I want you to review it on your page. General Hot Pizza said, do a epic dance. Is that epic enough for you? General Hot Pizza said, video game movie tournament. That could be an interesting idea. That could be an interesting idea for sure. Great video as always. Thanks for coming and hanging out, Red 4K. I appreciate it. So before I get off here, I'm going to go ahead and plug a few things of mine that I have dropped in the past and that I'm going to drop in the future. So last night, I dropped my 4K review of They Live, which is a really fun rewatch. Looked great in 4K, but definitely go check out the review for my full thoughts on that movie. And I did my entire 4K collection last week as well. It's about a 47-minute long video. It's pretty long, but I appreciate anybody who has watched it and who maybe will watch it in the future. I appreciate it. Just like it, comment, all that great stuff. I would appreciate it. I also did the trailer reaction for Mortal Kombat last week, which was really fun. So you guys can definitely check that out. As far as what's upcoming this week, I've got the Physical Media Report, episode 45, coming out tomorrow. I will be back for another Blu-ray hunt this Tuesday. I'll probably be doing another collection video, probably my Steelbooks this week. I think I've decided on my Steelbooks. And then next week might be Arrow and Criterion. I might put those two together, actually, because those aren't as big as far as the collection. So I might put my Arrows and Criterions together in a video. I've got an unboxing of 5 Screen Factory titles that I'm going to do this week as well on the channel. that I got in the mail and still have not taken out of the box because I'm waiting to do the video to do it. Probably will do a review of Collateral on 4K this week as well. And if the trailer drops this Thursday, which I think it is, for Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead, I will be doing a trailer reaction for that whenever it drops in the morning. So, and I'm going to do those live, so you guys could join me for that if you want to, and kind of hang out as I react to it, or just watch it later on the replay. So either way, I would appreciate it. But definitely appreciate everybody watching here tonight. If you could, before you get off the stream, I would appreciate it if you liked the video. Also, if you could, maybe comment after the stream goes off in the comment section. All that stuff kind of helps push these videos up the YouTube algorithm, allow more people to see them. So I would definitely appreciate that, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. For some reason, if you're in here and you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. But again, guys, I appreciate everybody in here. I'll kind of pull up some more of your comments before you head out. CC Cinema here says the worst trilogies. That could definitely be a really good topic. Can you post the entrance of the tourney on the description, since I missed some of it? I will actually put that in the description. That's a good idea. Andrew Field said thumbs up, way up for this stream. I appreciate you hanging out, Andrew. Definitely always appreciate you here. When is the free movie giveaway? I almost forgot, Patrick. Thank you all for calling that out, or I would have definitely forgot. It's been a long day. I've been up since 4:30 this morning. For some reason, I chose to do these on my last day of work. And yeah, I'm like running on fumes right now. But yes, I'm doing a giveaway for The Haunting right now, guys. All you all have to do is in the chat, I want you to name the 2 movies that went head-to-head in the very first round of this tournament. If you can name the 2 movies that went head-to-head in the very first round of this tournament, you will win a copy of The Haunting, the digital copy of The Haunting. General Hot Pizza said favorite movie box set. So my favorite movie box set is this one right behind me, my Friday the 13th box set. That is my favorite movie box set. CC Cinema said when or if you would show your TV show collection. So the thing is, CC, is I don't buy a lot of TV. I'm weird when it comes to the TV shows. I used to own a lot of it back in the day. I used to have a lot of TV shows on DVD. But once like streaming hit and like you could watch a lot of these shows on streaming, I just kind of got out of buying them for some reason. I do have enough to maybe pull together a small collection video of them, which I might do. But yeah, I don't have a lot of TV seasons on Blu-ray. Greenland and Deepwater Horizon. You are correct, Sam the man. You win another digital code. So yeah, I will be sending that to you tomorrow. Of course, you'll probably have to remind me again. But yeah, definitely send me a message on my Instagram and I will send that code out to you tomorrow, Sam. But yeah, appreciate everybody joining me here tonight. General Hot Pizza, CC Cinema, Patrick Coran, Andrew Field, Chris Morrow, Pratty, Cinephiles Nation on Instagram. Definitely go follow him over there. Sam the man, of course, always here. Appreciate you being here, buddy. 4K Corner, definitely go subscribe to his channel. Side Hustle Cinema, Rebbed 4K, Film Geeks that came in at the last minute, 4K Media Guy, everybody that came to join us here tonight. I appreciate you guys being here. And he said, what about Left Behind? No chance of that making it in. But yeah, guys, definitely appreciate everybody hanging out with me tonight on this Sunday night. The longest Ken's movie experience that we've ever had, but it was awesome time. I love doing this. And like I said, please like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.